For the decades that ANDRUS has been providing stability, security, support, and hope to vulnerable children and families, they've done it for children and families from all cultures. And if you recognize ANDRUS as home to the sanctuary model, you might expect that equity, diversity, and inclusion is central to the ANDRUS mission.
When you think about what the sanctuary model is, all those core competencies are built in when you talk about things like social democracy. You know, that's a core value of the sanctuary model. Well, in order to really embody that, that's something that, you know, as an agency, we have to embrace that every single day.
Embracing equity, diversity, and inclusion every single day. Even with a foundation as auspicious as the sanctuary model, there is work to be done. And nobody is saying it's easy.
I'm really looking at, okay, our programs and what are we doing? How are we supporting EDI? What can we change? What does it look like? What are we doing? And how do we get the voices from our families to help us along the way?
But I think the big thing is that it's about people. Knowing who you serve, knowing what they go through, and taking the time out to be curious about that, find out what they need, and be extremely passionate and adamant about meeting those needs, no matter what.
While the ANDRUS focus on equity, diversity, and inclusion informs and influences programs and services on the ANDRUS campus and across the New York area, there is also the awareness that it's a journey requiring more than policy and procedure.
I think it has to start with self-reflection, looking at yourself, looking at how you got to where you are, acknowledging the benefits that you've had, and that's not a bad thing. So I think that sometimes people connect that with guilt and that maybe I shouldn't have had that. No, it's acknowledging that you got to where you are because of all these wonderful supports you had, and that could include skin color. Then is that a chance for you to look around and see, okay, maybe that person didn't have as much opportunity as I did, so what can we do to make that more equitable?
A journey towards equity, diversity, and inclusion that is both inward and outward. A journey with clear benefits for the organization, the staff, and the communities they serve.
I think it makes staff more hopeful, that they know that they will get an opportunity regardless of their race, their gender, their orientation, that they know that no matter what, they have the same chance as anyone else. And when our staff can be hopeful about their own success and their own progress, then that hope, I believe, transfers down to the work that they do with our families and with our young people. Then they can pour hope into them. And then it's just this kind of collective celebration of hope and opportunity.
It's something that we are very mindful of, and something that we really, spend a lot of time talking about as a leadership group.
In addition to the work being done in the hearts and minds of the staff, in addition to the programs benefiting the lives and families in the ANDRUS community, there is also an awareness that the journey towards equity, diversity, and inclusion can reshape our society as a whole.
This is the time, if any, this is the time that we need to make sure that every agency, every entity is working towards EDI, because lives are being lost, lives are being destroyed, families are being destroyed, and we need to figure out as a country how to do this work.
If we picture a society where everyone has equal access and equal opportunity because power is equal, then there is not harm being done. Instead, there is this wonderful world of opportunity where everyone has an option to be stronger.
I'm optimistic and I'm hopeful. Yeah, and I'm passionate about getting people to just understand each other. We all have our own view and how we see the world, and it's important that we share that view but not punish people for having a different view.
ANDRUS, tracing its journey from a powerful legacy of service and sanctuary to a future made better through equity, diversity, and inclusion.